Sir Martin, thank you so much for being with us this morning. We have spent the past hour talking about AI, its impact on the world, on our industry, and what it means for CMO. Maybe to get started, would love to get your thoughts about what do you see currently when it comes to AI toward creativity?
Well, I think there are 5 impacts, Sebastian. One is on visualization and copywriting, more efficient, more effective. Secondly, the impact on hyper-personalization or personalization on scale, what I call Netflix on steroids. Thirdly, impact on media planning buying, which buys into the PMAX strategy, if you like. Fourthly, on general efficiency, some of the joint ventures that we're doing with NVIDIA and others. And then fifthly, which I think is the most interesting area, is democratization of knowledge. So going back to your question about creativity, people can share ideas in a far more effective way than we have ever before. So it's flattening organizations and I think making them much more efficient and much more effective. And it's basically democratizing knowledge.
Great. And one of the data that we looked this morning was the fact that the importance of the creatives continue to be extremely important. It's kind of half, 49% of what make a campaign effective in terms of reaching the users. When it comes to this specific point, what are the great examples that you're currently seeing?
Well, creativity, we think always at the end of the day will be the defining factor, and human creativity will be that defining factor. I think people forget that these are tools. AI and AGI are tools that can help people do things much more effectively and much more efficiently, and I think better. If that spark of human creativity is the key differentiator, which we think it is, I mean, all your data, as you just said, half of the impact in terms of developing brands and brand campaigns is around human creativity. So I think that will continue to be the case. It will be the defining factor, but it will be, if we speed it up, made more effective, more efficient, and better by using that human creative spark on top of all that data, the algorithms. Algorithms plus creativity equals even more effectiveness.
I passionately agree. I think it really starts with creativity and kind of this human spark. AI is incredibly helpful in defining better audience and personalization. And then when it comes to creativities, getting more personalized assets is where we see massive change.
Of the 5 areas I mentioned, the thing that every CMO, without exception, should be thinking about is hyper-personalization or personalization at scale. That is personalizing, in a funny way, this goes back to David Ogilvy. Maybe everything goes back to David Ogilvy. He was fascinated by direct mail, which, if you think about it, was the first way that advertising, individualized, personalized letters to consumers, was the first way of thinking about personalized communication. And that, what the internet and now AI and AGI are the sophisticated application of that approach. And he believed in the power of research, data. I mean, Google Alphabet wins, in my view, because it has data and it has distribution. And those two powerful allied to personalized communications are huge. So every CMO, without exception, should be looking at that personalized model at scale to build a relationship, a close relationship with the consumer directly, over the heads of retailers and wholesalers, if you like, directly. So this is really super sophisticated advertising.
And maybe to finish with kind of the one question we get from many CMOs is, what are the skills that are going to be needed tomorrow in their teams to make the most of those changes? What's the advice you have there?
So I've always said that and maybe AI and AGI means you don't have to learn these things anymore, but learn Chinese, learn Spanish, to the English speakers and French speakers watching or listening. And the final thing is learn code. So that, to me, what you need is greater geographical skills, cultural skills, and you need greater technological skills. So it still applies. So it's Chinese, it's Spanish, and last but not least, it's code. So geography and technology rule our lives, and changes in them rule our lives, and I think that's critical.
Thank you so much for being there today. Thank you so much.
And thank you for everything.